Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to DAC. Here is the final match of the day. We got LGD Forever Young versus Newbee.B. We just completed one of the, I guess, more amazing matches of the day. It was kind of back and forth, crazy play, both sides, and ended up with LFY eking out with the victory. I am Luminous. I'm joined by VTM. Tsunami had to go to work, so we got a very suitable replacement. How are you?
And we're... Oh, sorry about that. I'm just eager to talk.
Yeah, we're gonna be stepping over a lot of our toes this game because I like to talk, you like to talk, and we're working with some delays on both sides, so it's gonna be rough.
Hey, it's good. I just need like 5 seconds to warm up. I'm coming in cold. So you were saying that last game was so intense. Do you have a particular moment in that last game that you were like, you know, what was like the play of that last game?
Well, Xiaowei died to a double stack ancient. That was kind of a big play. That already told me the game was gonna be clowny. But I don't know. I guess the play that stood out to me the most was one of the fights that the Dire team won because of the boss's big Witch Doctor ult. And kind of up to that point, I don't think Boss has made any big plays. So for me, that was kind of a big moment for him. And hopefully he's going to get more of that, because I think he's probably the least skilled player compared to the rest of his teammate, and probably the least skilled player in the whole game. But he was able to make such a big play that gave his team an edge. That's got to feel good. I know he's a very big Dota enthusiast, and you know, that's great. Probably not the biggest play of the game per se, but yeah, I thought that was a good moment.
Well, if that's you know, that's the marker for you, I can understand that, you know. So just real quick, so that I can say this right, the blue Chinese character name on Newbee.B. What is that again?
I think his actual tag is Zay9. He's the owner.
Zay9, okay.
He's the owner of the Newbee team, like the whole organization.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the roster is named Newbee.B, and that's why I'm calling him the boss.
Right. Okay. Alright, yeah, I think it might just be easier to call him the boss then.
Yeah. I think it's better call him the boss. And then, I don't know if you're familiar, but Axe, the first professional female player.
Oh yeah, everyone's heard about that. I'm so hyped to actually cover one of her games.
Yeah. I don't think she's been playing amazingly. Like, apart from the fact that she's a woman, like I think her play is actually pretty similar to any like top tier Chinese offlaner. Maybe top tier is a bit strong in description, but she's decent. You
also got to think. I mean, there's probably a little bit of nerves just coming into like actual like top tier competitive scene. You know, I feel like that's got to get to her a little bit.
Maybe.
And then I can't speak from, you know, a woman's point of view because I'm not one, but you got to think she's probably feels a lot of pressure to like prove that women, you know, deserve a spot in the scene and stuff. So there's probably a lot of psychological stuff at play there. And then, you know, the terms of experience and stuff, I think the fact that she is here is already a great accomplishment, and she should be given. I've seen a lot of people making comments about her, and I should just give a little bit of slack, given time to prove herself. You know,
nobody gets any slack. Who do you think you are, the president of the United States? Not even he gets slack. In fact, he actually gets more slack. I don't know.
That's true.
But yeah, I think Newbee.B as a team hasn't really been gelling. We've seen like moments of brilliance from like a lot of the players. Like I've seen great Axe plays. I've seen great the boss plays. Tron has been making good plays all around. Same thing with 430. Xiaowei sometimes here and there. I think the team just need to gel, but I think the team was really formed for entertainment purposes and not exactly as a like a competitive lineup. So they really shouldn't be beating LFY, but last game they made it close, and I think that's all it counts.
One of the things I do like about this team is, you know, over the years I've heard Chuan can get pretty hot-headed in games. He could be quite the person to be in a lobby with. And I think if anyone's going to be able to really keep him, you know, in line, that would be Xiaowei. So they might have started out as, you know, just a fun, entertaining team, but how often does Zhao 8 do something and then not achieve something big?
Yeah.
You know, what was it? Man, what was the team? He had another team, just casual team. I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest in terms of the professional scene, but he had another team, just a casual team. You know, another one of those coming out of retirement teams, and then they got like second place. It was amazing.
Was it the Big God?
Yeah, Big God. That was
Yeah.
it. Sorry.
It was like Burning, Xiaowei, ROTK, I think, and then it's just like, you know, two other very well-known players. And I don't think they were good for a long time, but there was one tournament they were just on fire. But, all right, let's
So let's see
actually
some cool stuff.
let's talk about the draft because we're kind of halfway through here. We got LFY picking up most likely on Sanking off lane, but definitely could be a Sanking support, backed up by Lifestealer as well as Shadow Fiend. So a very stable, kind of well-rounded lineup, not exactly bad at any stage of the game. Newbee.B gonna go with Ursa and Slaughter as possibly two of the cores. Although with the Shadow Demon pickup, we could see Slaughter as a support as well, given the fact that you could disrupt into a Slithering Crush.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then, I mean, I don't want to put words into Newbee.Boss's mouth, but I'm thinking that Slardar pickup might have also been to just deny the combo with Lifestealer, because they're like peanut butter and jelly together. You know, you let the enemy team get themselves a Slardar, even if they run it as a 4 position. That's just so much more hassle than it's worth.
It's not just about the vehicle to bring the Lifestealer into the fight, because there's a lot of heroes that could do that. Like, for example, Sanking in this game allows you to do that. But it's really about the Corrosive Haze, because that keeps your Lifestealer relevant. Sometimes Lifestealer doesn't have a great game, and he can't transition into the mid and late game, but you pop, you know, minus 15 armor on a target, and suddenly Lifestealer is relevant, even if he's one item behind, like the enemy core. So that's really why it's like the peanut butter jelly, as you mentioned. But Templar Assassin being picked up here by Newbee.Boss. This combination is going to be great at taking down Roshan, well, or just taking down heroes with so much minus armor on top.
And you look at Forever Young, their lineup looks like they're, you know, in their fights, they're going to be grouped up heavily. A lot of their fighting is going to be as a group. TA, as long as your positioning is good, you're going to be getting a lot of damage out there. And then her minus armor, along with Slardar's minus armor, just going to liquefy the enemies. You also have the push ability with her. I mean, she hits a really quick power spike. I would say like 25 minutes if her lane goes well. You know, that with the Shadow Demon Disruption, you might not have yourself a Luna, but you still have a very powerful pushing hero.
Yep. The one big weakness of this newbie lineup is that it's very single target oriented. Like, I mean, look at her Templar, Slaughter. I mean, apart from the Slaughter, Slithering Crush, a lot of this is kind of focus one guy and kill them and move on to the next guy. Unfortunately, I don't think LFY has a draft that could punish it. They could pick up something like a very strong single target saving hero, like Dazzle comes to mind, for example, that could really punish this kind of lineup, force Newbee to switch target. They do have a pick left. They can, in theory, pick up Dazzle or another support that could do just that. But we'll see what LFY will end up picking. Right now, Newbee.Boss's turn, and we've seen both Boss as well as Tron play Shadow Demon, so hard to say who is playing what.
You know, actually looking at LFY, their picks, I think the big problem with Ursa is he's so kiteable, and you have a disruptor who can, you know, glimpse him back all the time. The Sand King can just back and forth in and out of the fights. I feel like, you know, Ursa can do very well in a lane, so picking up a lane dominating offlaner might not be what LFY need. Maybe they just keep going with the kite ability, I would say. I don't know.
Okay.
But there's a Mirana. That's legit.
And there's going to be Dazzle. All right. So, I do agree with you that Ursa is very kiteable, but I think that's more or less up to the Slaughter to do his job, right? Because Slaughter, like, Ursa only needs 1 second. If Slaughter could provide that initiation that Ursa needs, Ursa follows up and can't really kite when you're stunned up. So Ursa's going to clean things through. Now, last game I was kind of fanboying the Chuan Enchantress because it's one of his namesake hero. Mirana's definitely one of the other one that he's really good at. Haven't seen Chuan play Mirana since the new kind of patches where Mirana gets to scale as a support into a core. I imagine if he's going to be handling it, that's something that he's going to look towards to do. But Chuan played Mirana back in the days where there was no setup. Like, you just had to hit your arrows raw. And he still did that, so I'm expecting a big Chuan game. And yeah, he is on the Mirana.
It's always exciting when you have just such a big name, like one of their signature heroes, getting something completely game-changing. Like, you know, the way that the Mirana is played now compared to back in Chuan's heyday, you know, TI2. But we also have Ferrari. I mean, he's played a good bit of TA in his day, right? I wouldn't say it's one of his signature heroes, but he's had some great plays on her before.
I want to say it's definitely one of his... Like, Invoker, I think, takes a lot of fame. I think Invoker is the one that stands out in people's mind, but he definitely has a good TA. And this is the matchup that a lot of people are scared of, right? You go to mid lane, Shadow Fiend, you don't want to see a TA on the other side because even once you get a lot of souls on your Shadow Fiend, the TA still has kill potential on you, and you know, Refraction just makes the lane that much more difficult. And more than that, he still has to worry about the Shadow Demon disruption into arrow combination. So it's just a lot of things that Super has to play around and worry about.
Part of me is just praying Ferrari can get a very fast Blink Dagger. It's such a brutal game if a TA can get, you know, that fast Blink Dagger. No one is safe. It doesn't matter how farmed anyone on your team is. The enemy TA has that Blink Dagger and had a good lane.
Yeah.
Oh, there's blood everywhere.
I think it's interesting to go for Blink first or Deso first. Like, I think there's definitely arguments for either side because, for example, if the Slaughter is blinking to initiate for you, then maybe just having more damage is nice. At the same time, Slaughter also has Corrosive Haze, so maybe you don't need that much damage, you just need to get up close. So I think there's definitely argument for either side. We'll see exactly what he's going to go for.
Oh, man, the supports on the side of Newbee.B, they are ready for, like, you know, 30-second gank as soon as it's up.
Monet hasn't skilled his skill point yet, though, so if he gets disrupted, he's going to get Rage. And hopefully he can Rage out of this gank, but the block here by Axe is not good enough. Oh, I'm surprised Axe just let Banana walk through it. This is an easy crush into the arrow. Okay.
Yeah,
oh,
it was,
They ping out Monet. They said that he took Feast, right? So he's actually a very killable hero now. They just need to allow Monet to walk up past this creep wave, disrupt into a very easy arrow.
And, I mean, LFY, they're posturing themselves like they know the supports are missing, right? So, Monet, yeah, he's hugging tower now.
Yeah, he knows. But what are you going to do, just not farm?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, these supports could stand here for minutes. And
yeah, they're fine standing there. Okay, he now gets level 2, so I don't think this gank will work. Okay, he skills Rage immediately. Arrow has to be perfect, and it's not.
Oh.
Yeah. So
a little early.
They had a lot of patience, but as soon as they got level 2, they made a go at it, and did not work out.
Well, that's what happens. That's the gamble that you play. Just one fraction of a second off, and that can really swing that early game in either favor.
I mean, the big problem with what that engagement happened is that look at Xiaowei on the bottom. He's got 6 Tango, but he's gonna just die. Gives a first blood. He popped his Overrage, but he did not see that Jasing had like 2 Caustic on 2 creeps. The Burst Strike killed those creeps and stunned him. The 2 Caustic blew up, and he just like lost half of his HP pool instantly.
He also, Jishing there got on its flank, managed to Burrow Strike across to kind of isolate himself from, you know, Zhao 8 couldn't run back to his tower.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say these ganks are proving very costly. Now Shadow Demon getting positioned to get off that disruption, but the creep wave is kind of there, or not. Arrow almost actually missed. Should be easy kill here. Crush, and Axe actually gets a kill. This is actually pretty important that both Shadow Demon and Rana is up top, because in the first 3 or 4 games I watched, Newbee has always thrown Axe like to the wolves. They never actually gave her a good lane. And this is the first time I've seen like having dedicated support in the lane, and hopefully it makes a big difference for her.
From what I've seen, it seems like Xiao 8 is slightly a stronger laner, so they might just be taking a new approach now and just wanting to cover, cover their heals rather than try to bolster up their strengths.
Yeah.
And it's still early enough in, DAC that they're just trying new stuff.
Yeah. I don't think they'll be too sad if they don't make it like to the next stage of DAC. For them, it's just like practice and whatnot, and getting to understand each other's playstyle. Now, this is the one thing I really dislike about the Shadow Demon Mirana combination. It is so pronounced when one hero is missing off the map, you know where the other one is. Like, it's with the, Mirana is always with the Shadow Demon. So, for example, Super right now needs to be very aware of the fact that there is a gank coming his way.
He is fortunate enough that Ferrari does not have enough mana for refraction just yet.
Oh,
so
here comes the boss, and now Super understand. Now he jukes out. Great juke, and he's gonna be running away from this game. But now he's like an awkward spot. I'm surprised he didn't even go for this rune steal, but I guess that's too many times away from the lane.
Yeah, the supports of boss, they were just a little too. I think they hit it a little too early.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ferrari, he had no way of really stopping Super from just walking next to him. He could right-click him a little bit, but that's not really going to do much.
All right, Xiaoi's dead. He's getting completely outplayed. He had 3 or 4 stacks here on Jasing, but his HP pool was a bit too low. Got Burrow Strike next to his creep wave again, and just got killed.
And that's the thing with Sand King. Your own creeps become your enemy.
Yeah.
Someone like Ursa, melee hero, like, he's actually pretty weak to magic damage early on until he gets that enrage, so. Oh man! Jixing just casual Burrow Strike right onto Chuan. Chuan having to leap away, run out there. Get a disruption.
Arrow?
The arrow connect. That's there.
Should be a kill? Alright.
Yep. Xiao 8 gets his revenge.
Yep.
But then mid Ferrari 430. Ooh. Barely get that in refraction off on time.
Yep.
That was
Poison
a close
Touch.
one.
One of the better spells here against TA. I wonder if he's... Well, actually, he's always going to level up eventually, right? Oh my god, Ferrari playing with death. Had to pop his Fairy Fire to survive that race.
Whoosh.
And now they're going to shrine up.
Group shower, as you said.
Yep.
That's stuck with me the whole time, man. Every time I see it now. It's like, oh, let's hit the locker room, boys. Good game.
It's easier to picture that on the Radiant side. The Dire side, not so much. It's just this big, angry red thing.
That's like the dirty shower in the locker room no one goes near.
Xiaoi's, for better or worse, he's definitely staying on the aggressive. And I think, as Ursa, that's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah, that's how you have to play the hero. If you start like playing defensive, falling back, the enemy's just going to collapse on you, and you're going to get nothing. It's a go big or go home kind of hero. But the
Disruption.
Bottom rune.
Arrow. Yep.
They get him. Oh, they're beating him down. Oh, he gets ripped apart. Ferrari. Not much gold out of that, but it's more of the experience gain, keeping Shadow Fiend off the map, and getting rid of those souls.
Yeah. One thing I haven't really mentioned, why this draft has been successful so far for Newbee.B is that you have 2 very dedicated roamers, but that also means that you need to pick 3 very independent laners to make it work, right? Like, Xiaowei has to stay here by himself against a potential dual lane for a while. Jasing is not going to get disrupted because he just goes through the trees. Xiaowei does not care. He wants to follow. And now Boss, I thought for a second, arrow's going to hit. That's the blind one.
Oh, they get him.
Yeah, he's gone.
It connects. Xiao 8's gunning him down. Yep. Tearing him apart. That's bad. I think feeding the Ursa. The thing is, with Newbee Boss's lineup, like all of the cores, if you feed them in any way, you're gonna have a very bad day.
Yeah. I think the most important core to actually shut down is the Slaughter, because a lot of this mid game is making sure that she does not initiate for the Ursa or the TA, because they need the Sun, right, to go through. You can't really depend on Disruption Arrow anymore in the mid game. So shutting down Axe to me is priority number 1, but it feels like they're just okay having a static lane against her, and she's already level 6.5.
Mid lane, we have a smoke up from LFY. LPC wrapping around the back and Jixing connect with the Burrow Strike. They got to get rid of their refraction. Yeah, they can't.
Oh.
Not yet. Arrow hitting the creep. Oh, Chuan.
Yeah. That was actually a bit of misplaced perhaps by the boss, because if he juked to the left instead of down, the creep would have followed to the left, and it would not have blocked the arrow. But I don't know, it's kind of close. Looks like Axe is gonna get a glimpse back here to Banana. This should be a very easy kill here. And Monet's gonna gun her down. Alright, Poison.
Meanwhile, yeah, near the bottom rune, Ferrari and Zhao 8, they just annihilate the Shadow Fiend there. He almost got away, but
yeah, so this is something I've noticed earlier today when I saw an Ursa being played, is that Ursa's going for a Helmet of the Dominator. I know the trend in the China scene is like go Helmet Dominator on every safe lane carry, but Ursa has very special needs, namely Blink Dagger, and I just feel like that's a lot of golden investment into an item that I'm not sure how much it will help you, at least in the hero killing phase of the game. It's definitely very good for like random jungling, grabbing a creep during a push. The creep itself might actually help you get a kill, but to me, I think Blink Dagger is still first and foremost the most important item. But a lot of these Chinese pros kind of disagree with that thought, and they don't rush it.
I mean, you look at the value that it provides. Early game, it gives like AoE attack speed to your entire team. That's so good, and you want that on someone who's going to be alive for the whole fight. The person who's going to be there to give that 8 HP regen every second for the whole fight, and that person is either Ursa or a TA, but it's looking like they're trying to gear up TA to just be, you know, swelling up on damage, as now he's got both Deso and Blink queued up on Ferrari, so
he's also not sure, yeah.
Yeah.
He knows he wants both eventually, he's just not right now in terms of what order he wants. No, I
he's probably just going to decide.
I hear you about
when the moment comes up.
The Ursa point, and I agree it's one of the kind of the better items in this patch. But you know, Ursa's a snowball hero, right? Like you're not gonna be snowballing with that item. Axe is gonna get picked here pretty easily. Oh, Disruption will find him.
Monet just jumping into a creep, running away.
Yeah,
getting out of there safely. It did require 4 heroes for that one gank, though, so space created, I'd say.
Yeah.
But that's going to delay that Blink Dagger even further on Axe, and then that's going to delay the real team fight potential of Newbee.B.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't given her the safe lane, just to take the farm, and Ursa maybe just jungle a little bit. If you look over to her farm, she's actually like, what, 1,700 gold? Looks like she's going to go mid instead, which is, you know, about the same. And Banana looking for a glimpse. They will find it on Boss. Disrupts himself. Okay, but he's going to be fine.
Now his whole team's there, going to be chasing back LFY. Yep. Monet, he doesn't have that the armlet yet, so I mean, LFY, I don't think they're ready to start pressuring yet. They do have level 8 Shadow Fiend, so huge damage but you need that life stealer for the fights.
Yeah, just as I say that Axe is the most important player for Team Newbee.B, I think Jixing is likewise the same thing for his team. Because, you know, we mentioned that he's the lifestealer vehicle, he's also essentially the sole initiator. Right now, a lot of the kills are coming through Poison Touch and Glimpse. That's not really something that starts off a team fight, right? So it's very important that Jixing gets pressured, at least from Newbee.Boss's perspective. And they have been pressuring him, but looks like his blink is going to be a fairly good timing, regardless.
It's definitely an offlaner's patch, I would say, at least at this point in the meta. A lot of tempo is being set by offlaners. Oh, Ferrari's going to get some vision on Jixing, but he can't really do anything. Hyper elusive hero there.
I think the one big difference this patch and last patch is this patch offlaners get the closer access to Shrine, so even if you get beat pretty hard, you could get a quick fountain heal essentially and be okay. But the one downside is that you can't just completely dodge your lane anymore, right? The old patch is Iron Talon and just like, yeah, I'm out. But this patch, because of the jungle not spawning that often, you can't just like complete AFK for like 7 minutes in the jungle. So I think it's kind of hit or miss when it comes to this patch being a jungle patch or not. Or sorry, offlane patch or not.
Well, so,
Top lane.
top, there's actually going to be a little bit of action. Oh, Monet, just in time with that rage.
Yeah.
Over there.
Nothing the Slaughter could have done. It's just too fast for Monet.
Yeah, that's really it. As he was blinking in, I mean, all you gotta do is hit one button and then bam, you're safe.
Yeah. Alright, Jasing now ports up top 2. He's got Blink Dagger available. I'm not sure whether he has sight here behind. In fact, he has no vision behind the ramp. He only sees Ursa right now, but he knows. Oh my god, as soon as he cuts that tree.
Through. Oh, there's some vision. Everyone Axe is sprinting out of there like, oh god, no. Please no. Let me out of here.
Yeah, they were actually so close to each other. And now
the
they
tree
smoke
falls
up.
and there's a giant scorpion.
There we go. I mean, if Boss tanks a skank, it's actually not too bad.
I think that did reveal the Sand King's Blink Dagger, though. If they were paying attention... Oh.
Ooh, they ping it out. They think
Lots
that
of
Roche is
pings.
happening. LPC is going to be initiating. You don't want to be initiating with the Dazzle. He gets straight up arrow to the face, but where's the damage? Here comes the Ferrari. Oh, there's that damage.
They get the disruption. Now Banana's stuck in the middle of it, but he still too falls. Oh, the big epicenter right in the middle. Zhao 8's surviving. He's running for his life, but he's getting hit so hard. Sand King will pay the price as well as Super. It's a 4-for-1.
Alright.
Gonna turn into Roche.
I think earlier somebody in the chat was asking how do you play a good Slaughter. I think what we saw from Max is a prime example of what you should do as a Slaughter. Be the first one into the fight, initiate, put up a corrosive haze, back out, and reinitiate. And initiate again here. They find Monet, gets disrupted. I don't know if they have an arrow set up. And now Monet moves forward. Pops Rage, goes for Ferrari. Ferrari has a shield turned on, but Lightning Strike still doing some work, and they do have vision on him. Now again, reinitiate by Axe. He wants to go for Banana, or she rather, excuse me. But
Axe with the plays.
yeah, that's what, 4 initiations back to back to back, and now Zhao 8's back alive, goes into the Roshan pit, pops overcharge, and that should be the Aegis.
He gets it. Kinetic
Arrow?
Field going to be keeping Axe and Boss away. Yeah, Arrow going to be catching the Disruptor. But Zhao 8 and company, they're waiting to go in on this. He does pop that in Rage, trying to gun down. Yep, Shadow Fiend's out of the equation. Jixing going to be trying to run for his life. And Zhao 8's not just going to let him get away. He's hunting. The
Just
bear
seeing.
is hungry.
Burrow, okay, he's out. Oh,
Right onto the high ground.
Slaughter, out of
Axe
mana.
almost got him. Oh.
Alright, that's gonna be enough. I mean, all the meanwhile, by the way, Ferrari's just been hitting this tower, so it's gonna just go down. Alright, Sand King lucky the fact that Axe was out of mana, or there was more Slithering Crush. Okay, reinitiation on
Monet's
430.
ready to brawl.
Yeah, 430 is gonna try to man fight out of this one. Oh, disruption by the boss is gonna save him. Just saying, it's gonna Burrow Strike, but he actually got off yet another refraction shield. Burrow Strike will hit. Somehow 430 is still alive. Finally will go down, and again, guess what? Axe has got mana. She's back. All right, Axe haters out there.
God.
This is the offlaner that we're watching, and I gotta say, this is one of the better Slaughter play I've seen today.
I think she's found her hero.
I think
I mean, Slaughter's just so strong.
Yeah, I think the big difference that this game she had compared to the previous games that she's got some gold to work with. The previous game
She had the help from her supports.
yeah, she got the first like minute or 2 of help, and then after that, because of Shadow Demon Mirana putting so much pressure elsewhere, she wasn't in a 1v3 situation. So she didn't get the fastest blink timing by any stretch of the imagination, but it was good enough. And then she made it work.
And thankfully for Newbee.B, there's no real threat of the Shadow Fiend ganks, just because most of this game, Super's been having to keep collecting souls. Just as he gets to max souls, he'll die, and then he's got to go right back out, farm for a bit, he moves in, dies again.
I mean, we gotta keep in mind that Super had a rather tough lane, right, against a disadvantage matchup.
Yeah.
I think there's once or twice where he checked the rune and he just ran into a Shadow Demon Mirana combination. So, yeah, so far it's Newbee.B kind of rocking the early game, and this is not something we've seen from them. We just seen them getting wrecked pretty much starting from minute 1, and this is the first time that they've been winning, this convincingly.
Sadly, though, for Newbee.B, but good for LFY. Lifestealer, he's had his armlet. He's about to get that Echo Saber, and he's getting decent levels under his belt, so pretty soon he's going to be hitting pretty hard, and he's going to have a Dazzle there to help give him that shallow grave so he can get the Infest to save his life. It's going to be pretty hard to kill.
Alright, Newbee.B smoked up. Shadow Demon shows himself mid as he's just like farming, denying a tower. Hopefully trying to mask this gank. And they're gonna go north here. It's gonna be the Lifestealer. Gonna be a tough kill. Blade Crush.
Oh no!
And again, Monet! Yeah, fast enough to actually pop that rage. Oh, they're going for this.
Wait. He doesn't have much longer left on that Aegis.
Okay.
Oh, he's all in the center of this. Trying to beat up the Disruptor. He's stunned up. Takes him down at least. Now, their eyes are on the prize. Monet taking huge damage. Oh, Ferrari ripping him apart. The big ol' epicenter. Chuan almost falling. Actually gets the arrow off before. Oh, he survived.
He's dead to Caustic.
Axe in the center of the fight.
Yeah, there's a Caustic on him.
Yeah, Caustic. Never mind.
Yeah, and Axe.
Oh, Super.
Yeah, they're just outrunning them. So hard to disengage from a Slaughter.
Oh, LPC. Just delaying the inevitable. This is what happens when you have a fight lineup get out of hand.
Yeah, so when the first initiation like messed up, I thought for sure like Newbee's like, okay, we tried a smoking, it did not work. He popped his rage way too fast, let's just back off. What surprised me is they just chased in, right? They recognize the fact that Ursa still has Aegis, it's gonna time out anyways, let's just take a fight. And even though they're next to a tower, they have to reinforce one at a time, which takes a lot of time. So, because they kill so quickly, they're able to kind of go from one kill to the next and essentially just rip apart the Dire team. So very nicely done here by Newbee.B.
It's very well put. They're just recognizing their power spike. Yep. Zhao 8 has himself that Blink Dagger and the Helm, so he's going to be hitting crazy hard. He's going to be mobile. The TA with the Deso and the Blink, and now level 16, but at the time like 14, 15. Like, that was their time to go. They can't let this Lifestealer keep getting big. They can't let this Shadow Fiend get back on his feet. They've got to just keep hitting it hard, keep the enemy down. They're just recognizing their timing.
Pretty sure Newbee.B actually pinged out the smoke. Engagement coming his way, so they should be...
Yeah, they know something's up.
They should be aware of this. Maybe they want to fight smoke into smoke? No, they're going to back up to the tier 2 tower. And just kind of wait a bit. Okay. 430 is like being super safe here. Okay, they get off the D ward. I don't know if you want to initiate onto a Shadow Demon.
Yeah, they were really like trying to decide on. They were yeah, Jishing just TPing out. Their time is done.
Yeah.
They were debating it.
So earlier you brought up a good point about Newbee.B recognizing their power spike, and I agree with you completely. By converse, if you look at the Dire team, that was the first Infest gank that the Dire team has tried, right? I feel like a lot of the Lifestealer's power spike has been like kind of came and gone, and they haven't done anything with Infest. So it's just so much pressure is being put on by Newbee.B that I don't think LFY could actually play their game.
Yeah, they keep getting tripped up just as they start to get on their feet and, they start to really do what their heroes are meant to do. Newbee.B come, hit them hard, knock them off their feet, and they're unable to, like you said, get an Infest gank. You take advantage of, say, a Glimpse gank. Like, I have not seen a single Glimpse gank where they catch someone out of position because they've never been able to find the enemy's position.
Oh my god, just sing an Axe. Again, they're like right next to each other. Alright, not gonna...
Soulmates. And all this time that Jixing's just standing here, the Lifestealer's there, not
Oh,
farming.
they see each other now.
They fight each other.
All right, Axe is gonna be dead. It gets forced out the other way, but right into a Requiem, and now suddenly 430 under the field gets disrupted. Okay, maybe we'll be able to blink out. Meanwhile, Xiaoze is in there, pops the overcharge and try to walk away. 430 gets forced that back out, but gets glimpsed back in. This is a one good fight they have, and Super will survive this. Somebody heal him. Somebody heal him. Somebody heal him. LPC had Shadow Wave on CD, I imagine, and now the fight continues on. Self-destruct, long arrow, but I don't think they can actually rescue the boss. And,
yeah, Big Boss just trying to buy some time so the rest of his team can get out. Thankfully for Newbee.Boss, Zhao Wei did not fall. I think he's by far the most important person. If he dies, I'd say even once or twice, like they're gonna have a rough time.
Yeah, Ursa's one of those heroes that could get a very big lead very fast, but that lead's always very vulnerable because your leads is based on hero kill, not objective, like, you know, tower kills. So once you lose that net worth and they get your big streak, then you're kind of in trouble. So, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say about Zhao 8. Looking at his talent tree, I mean, he's going for definitely just the straight DPS build rather than any sort of survivability. So it's looking like Newbee.Boss are really banking on ending this game early. They probably got about 10 minutes left in the bank for them.
Super.
Ooh, and speaking of the devil, Zhao 8 chasing down Super, ripping him apart.
Yep.
Oh, he cannot get those souls up.
Yeah, I mean, he got bashed, right? Which wasn't even a first hit bash. It was just, you have overcharge on, so you're going to be bashing pretty consistently, I would have to say. I mean, I agree with you the fact that the Dire team scale much better in the late game than the Radiant team, but that's only assuming that both team is farming at the same rate, right? Which, if Ursa's killing you every 2 seconds, you keep saying that Shadow Fiend needs to, like, just regather souls. I don't think Shadow Fiend is nearly farming the same rate as TA or the Ursa, so I don't know if the Radiant team will get outscaled anytime soon.
I do have to say, though, I mean, how many times he died? 7 times. He's died 7 times.
Yeah.
And he still has Dragonlance, Yasha. Like, he's hanging in there.
Yeah, and I think that's the strength of Shadow Fiend as a hero. You can hang in there because of your Shadow Raises. But to put it in comparison, in a normal game, he would have Mance Style and he'll be working towards BKB. So it's just like kind of he's basically one big item off of where he needs to be. And he really relies, again, on Jixing to create space for his team. And I think that's a lot of weight on his shoulder alone. I mean, look at the rest of his team right now. They're just... Like, I'm going to Dire Vision. They don't see anything. They're just barely safe enough to walk out to farm a creep wave in front of the tier 2 tower. So, it's...
Oh, yeah. Like, if your mid SF is having a rough game, you know your supports are having an abysmal game. This Dazzle has nothing. What's the Disruptor have? Nothing. Like, they are in dire straits right now. Use the I guess that's a pun. I don't know. It's just, I think what they need to do is they need a smoke gank. But every time they go to smoke gank, like Newbee.Boss, recognize just as it happens, and it doesn't ever come to fruition. Nothing comes from it.
I think they saw Jixing, by the way. They pinged him out. Arrow, I'm not sure if they actually grant vision. Jixing is just out of there. Does he have blink? Oh, Boss!
They found him!
Boss finds him. Alright.
Oh, there's the E-Blade. Yep, he's stuck. They've...
Yeah, or not. Arrow again?
Stunned, bird out.
Alright.
Yeah, they got him.
That was a good play by the boss, though. Like, he was just stacking Shadow Demon Poison on him. You gotta make sure that no matter how deep he goes in the trees, you put that dagger on cooldown. So that's probably his best way to get out. And the boss is still denying
then
that, so.
all he has is Burrow Strike and Force Staff.
Right. Which is still a lot, but you know, you cut him off however you can.
Feel like, okay, so the Sand King has a Yule's queued up right now, but I don't think that's the item he needs.
What do you think he should get instead?
I mean, part of me thinks an Aghanims, just so he's got the extreme range of Burrow Strike. so he can be even more maneuverable. But I mean, even that, I don't think it feels like it's enough.
Oh, Xiao is gonna get pulled back in. He blinks back out. He's got Aegis anyways, but honestly, don't want to throw away this life. I'm in agreement.
Yeah, there's no
with
point
you.
in just.
I think the Axe is by far the best choice because look at how Dire won the only fight they won. It started by, I guess, the Slaughter as well as the Sand King being next to the trees, right? And it was just Sing that got the initiation first. And I think this game is going to be down to whoever gets the initiation. So far, it has been pretty much Newbee.B getting the jump every single time. And the only one time that the Dire got the jump, they won that fight. So when it comes down to initiation, I think the Axe is much better for that. And
Boss found him. He gets burrow struck, and then there's Axe. They're gonna take down this Dazzle before he can do anything to help out the fight. Oh man, Mirana's caught in that kinetic field though. Couldn't get out of there. Zhao 8 with that BKB, just trying to run around. He actually pops the BKB before the Aegis. That's interesting. Trying to fight down Super, but Super actually hitting pretty hard. Axe just running in and out of this fight, keeping the supports at bay. Super does manage to TP out, but now they're going to chase down Banana and get their consolation prize.
I mean, at the end of the day, that was a 3 for 3 if you count the Aegis as being one of the lives. So it wasn't the worst, but that was next to a shrine, right? So they got a big burst of HP regen, and I don't think TA was even there at the beginning of the fight. So even though with a numbers advantage with the shrine, the Dire team still traded evenly. Just shows off how far ahead the Radiant team actually is.
But I would say still at this, I mean, their carry did die. That's bad. But considering how far behind they are, I think a trade like that is slightly in their favor. Just getting them back, the fact that Super was there to get all that experience, be involved in fights, and got out alive.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's got Hurricane Pike Manta.
I mean, it's like one team after the team fight gets to take an objective, which is what Zhao and his team is doing up top, and the other team after the fight gets to like farm creeps. It's just, I agree the fight was pretty even. It's just that I think the Radiant team gets more out of it after it.
They are going to lose basically all control of their jungle at this point.
Yeah.
So that's painful because now when speaking about the Shadow Fiend Souls, whenever he dies, he's never going to be able to go out there and flash farm without the threat of immediately dying.
Yeah. Well, Sand King's next to him
choking
this time. So
yeah, that's true.
meanwhile, the rest of Newbee.B a little bit busy with the shrine that they're just starting to knock down. And they are on the hunt.
Yeah, they've got the Moonlight Shadow up. They're ready. They did. I mean, it's visible that happened because Zhao 8 was farming the creep wave, so they're not going to catch out LFY. But they used it to at least move over and start taking this second shrine at the Dire bottom.
All right. Complete map control. About 2,000 or 20,000 net worth lead here for Newbee.B. Looking pretty good here. They got decent high ground heroes, TA being probably the best. So LFY needs to pull some magic trick out of their hat, or else it's lights out really fast. Jasing?
Oh,
Gold Scepter
Jasing.
TP. What?
Oh.
How did that arrow not hit him?
It was, I think Chuan was too close to him. So there's like I think a 100 unit, or something, 75 or 100 unit where the arrow actually won't hit anyone. And so I think his character model was exactly on Sand King's, and he actually threw the arrow outside of Sand King's model.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why?
Yeah, there's like tons of little things like that in Dota.
Okay. I mean, I played this
speaking
game for 10 years. Like, that's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, speaking of Chuan, I look at how farmed he is.
Yeah.
As a support, he's above both offlaners now.
Yeah.
Like, this is a tertiary core.
I mean, if you look at the objective they got, right? They got 6 outer towers. They got 2 shrines and 2 Roche. Like, that's, I think, enough item to fund pretty much anything for at least a support. Whereas, poor LPC has a buckler. Because by comparison,
Casual buckler.
they've taken like 3 towers.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I feel bad for laughing, but like there gets to be a point. Oh man, speaking of the devil, LPC getting beat down by the Ursa. I actually went a little too deep there. Tried getting some stuns, but
Yeah.
can't take on an entire team by yourself.
That was the over eager. I'm here, let's go. And then you look back and it's like, oh, nobody else is here. All right. Well, that's a slight opening here. Slaughter being dead for 60, or sorry, 30. That means you were saying it needs a smoke gank. Now's the time to do that smoke gank.
It's their opportunity, but they're just putting more value on farming right now.
Okay.
I guess they just want to make sure that they get these creeps before Newbee.B take them.
All right. Ursa's got BKB and Abysso, so he's gonna be real tough to kill.
So if you were Lifesteal has an Assault Cuirass, that's good. If you were super right now, as a Shadow Fiend, what would you do? Like, what are you saving up to get? He's got 3,000 in his pocket right now.
Nope.
How do you save this game?
All right, so I think there's two options. If you just look towards manning up and being the tank for your team, something like a Butterfly gives you a lot of value because you already have the Manta Style and you already have the Hurricane Pike, so even your illusions will hit pretty hard, getting the extra damage. The danger with that, though, is because TA as well as Ursa is so farmed, they could easily transition into MKB, but I don't think there's much you could do about that. The other option is if you think that your teammate could be the tank, like Lifestealer could tank, and you just want to be the straight up damage, you could go straight dataless and just hit as hard as you can. It's kind of the more riskier option. I guess the third option is I have Scotty, and just like, okay, Ursa, I'm gonna control you. I'm gonna make sure you're just permanently slow. Oh, mid lane. Okay.
Ferrari did have to pop his BKB. Does take down Banana. Super's ready to brawl as well. It's actually doing nothing to Ferrari just because of that refraction. Chuan is right next to Super. They actually Moonlight Shadow just to... because, in case they want to... I don't really know why. Zhao 8, though, fighting up. Gonna take down Lifestealer. Oh, the grave! Can he get out? He's looking for someone to jump inside. He gets into Jixing. But, oh, he falls as well. Gem also drops. He almost got out of there.
So, honestly, that was a really bad team fight. Oh, hold on, thought it's not over just yet. Burrow Strike's gonna hit on 430. Axe Stun's not gonna hit anybody. Open Wounds on 430, but she's got shield, so she'll blink out. And the full retreat here by Newbee, recognizing that they don't actually have a creep wave, so probably shouldn't be in the base. Honestly, that was a... Oh, it's not over yet!
Ooh, Axe is ready.
Okay. Oh my god. Open Wounds on 430. That's a creep wave breaking her shield, but... I mean, this is just some clown Dota happening right now. Burrow Strike's gonna hit on Zhao 8. Zhao 8 might actually die. No! Pops his ultimate again and just mans up and goes right in. Zhao 8 retreats, and now Tron moves forward. Starstorm's gonna get the kill, and... Alright, they forced the GG on that one. Didn't need a creep wave after all. But that last team fight, they were just like clowning around, but they were so far ahead that it didn't matter.
Turns out, you let the snowballing heroes dominate their lanes, you're not gonna have the best time. So I have a quick question for you.
Yep.
In that last fight, that led to the buybacks and the ultimate high ground push, Chuan popped his Moonlight Shadow halfway through the fight. Was that? I don't understand what that was.
I mean, I think just because it's the right way that you said to describe it, because a lot of times support would, during the middle of fight, would just drop a ward on the middle of the ground, even though it's not an optimal ward spot, just to see more vision. And Moonlight Shadow kind of takes it away, right? It just... During a fight, one team wants as much vision as possible, and if you could deny that vision, why not? I don't think it was
that's
kind of
some
a...
next level stuff.
No, seriously, like, that's a lot of pro support player, like, tip. I always talk to them, it's like, what's one thing I could do to get better as a support player? It's like, just, if you have an observer ward on you during a fight, just drop it down. It doesn't matter wherever, it doesn't matter if it's going to get dewarded. That extra vision you get, even for 5 seconds, could change the outcome of a fight.
That is, like, I'm not even being sarcastic. That's, like, next level. I learned something today. That was fantastic. So, do you have any opinions on that game? Like, what did Boss do right, or what did LFY really do wrong?
I think LFY put a lot of basket onto the Sand King, and it was definitely a very good game plan, but because he got ganked repeatedly on the, I don't know, second half of the laning phase, if you will. It was rough for the rest of the team to actually follow Jasing's footstep. Also, if you look at the support duo of like LPC and Banana, it's a Dazzle and a Disruptor. Pretty good at kind of controlling a fight, but never really good at initiating it. And like I mentioned, I felt like this game was about the initiation. That one fight Axe just came back in multiple times. That was beautiful to watch. And
yeah,
really shows what
that was
she could do given the right farm and the right hero.
And part of me with LFY, I just feel like they did not have catch up, right? Lifestealer, he needs his lane to go well. The Shadow Fiend, you can kind of break even and get out, but he had a rough lane as well. Like,
I think,
and then their supports, they didn't have catch up supports either. I think
Lifestealer had a free farm lane, right? Free farming against Slaughter, right? He was just kind of hitting creeps.
Well, towards the end, but he didn't push the offlaner out. And from I've casted with a few like pro players who play a lot of Lifestealer, and they'll tell me like time and time again, as a Lifestealer, you want that enemy out of your lane completely. You just want to be there alone so that you can completely farm, and that's a lane denied to the enemy team completely. So the fact that the first 2 or 3 creep waves, Monet wasn't there at all, and Axe managed to actually get that farm because of that creep support, or the support of the supports. I think that set the Lifestealer back a little.
Yeah, the fact that she gets to last hit all the way up to level 2 was kind of a big deal for her. So, I mean, that's kind of what you want. We see Ogre being picked just to sit in the off lanes to guarantee that level 2 for a lot of time. But anyways, hopefully Newbee.B would do well enough. I think there's going to be at least 1 to 2 more games for them tomorrow. I'm not sure whether even if they win all the game, they will make it out of the group stage because they had such an abysmal start. But for the fans of the team, they are definitely showing some signs of hope as they are at least picking up 1 win in a very dominant fashion. But that will conclude our broadcast today. We'll be back in about, let's say 12 hours. It's been a long day. Yeah, in about 12 to 13 hours. We'll start off with LGD versus vg.j tomorrow. So if you're a fan of ROTK, FY, Finra reuniting, we're going to see that tomorrow. Also, there's going to be another Newbee.B game on this stream versus eHome. So lots of great game coming your way, guys, tomorrow. Same time, same place. Of course, you could check out VTM. He's my wonderful co-caster at Versus the Mayor. Is that your Twitter handle?
It's VTM Dota on Twitter. And then here on Twitch, I'm Versus the Mayor.
Okay. Yeah. And you guys know where to find me. So we are done for now. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Good night.